Chosen one, stop. Put down whatever you're holding. Turn off that television. Silence that phone. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't a sermon. It's not a feel-good message. This is a divine interruption, and by this time tomorrow, something that has been crushing your chest for years ends. I'm talking about that heaviness you wake up with, that feeling like you missed your chance, like your best years got stolen, like God moved on without you while you were just surviving. Listen to me, sweetheart, that ends tomorrow. Not because you finally did something perfect, not because you earned it, but because of what you've already done in the dark. Those tears you cried at 3 a.m. when nobody was watching, that forgiveness you whispered when bitterness would have been easier, that choice to keep praying when your knees hurt and heaven felt silent. Heaven recorded every second. And right now, there's a courtroom in the spirit where the final verdict over your life has already been signed. The gavel has dropped. The countdown clock has started. By this time tomorrow, God is closing a chapter. Not your life, not your story, but the season that's been suffocating you, the cycle of feeling forgotten, the shame, the delay, the voices that whispered, "You're too old now. It's too late for miracles." That lie? Dead by tomorrow. God didn't bring you to this video by accident. He needed you to hear this before the shift happens. Because tomorrow, when that oppression lifts, when that door swings open, when that burden rolls off, you need to know it was Him. So here's what I need you to do right now. Type in the comments, "I receive this ending in Jesus' name." Don't scroll, don't click away. You've been waiting decades for this moment. Heaven has circled tomorrow on your calendar, and before this message ends, you'll understand exactly what God is ending and why He chose you, at this age, in this season, to carry the testimony the world didn't expect. Stay with me. I know what you're thinking right now. You heard those words. It all comes to an end tomorrow, and your heart dropped. You felt it in your stomach, that cold fear crawling up your spine. Lord, are you about to take my health, my mind? Is this the end of my life? Sweetheart, stop. Breathe. Let me tell you something I've learned. Sitting at hospital beds, kitchen tables, and nursing homes for decades, I've held the hands of saints who thought God was coming to take them out, when in reality, He was coming to take it out. God is not ending you. He's ending what has been ending you. There's a difference. And you need to hear this clearly, because the enemy wants you confused right now. He wants you terrified. He wants you to think this message is about death, about loss, about something being ripped away from you. But that's a lie. God is saying, I am ending what has been suffocating you for years. I am shutting down the cycle that has been draining your joy, stealing your peace, and convincing you that you're finished. Let me be specific. Let me name what God is ending tomorrow. The end of condemnation. That shame you've carried since the divorce. The guilt from the abortion you never speak about. The weight of the addiction you fought in secret. The broken relationship with your children that haunts you every single day. You wake up and it's the first thing you feel. Before your feet hit the floor, condemnation is already sitting on your chest whispering, you failed. You're disqualified. God can't use someone like you. That voice, dead by tomorrow. Romans 8:1 doesn't stutter. There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Not some condemnation, not condemnation with exceptions. None. But you've been living like that verse doesn't apply to you. Like somehow your mistake was too big, too ugly, too permanent. God is ending that lie. The end of chronic self-blame. If I had been a better parent, if I had been a better spouse, if I had just prayed more, loved better, tried harder. You've been replaying the same scenes for years, torturing yourself with the past, punishing yourself for decisions you can't undo. And heaven is saying, enough. You cannot undo yesterday, but God can redeem it. And He's about to prove it. The end of spiritual stagnation. You go to church, you sit in the same pew, you sing the same songs, you pray the same prayers, but you feel nothing. You're going through the motions, but your heart is numb. You whisper prayers into the ceiling and wonder if God even hears you anymore. You've been stuck, frozen, spiritually flatlined, and God is ending that too. Think about the woman with the issue of blood. 12 years she bled. 12 years she spent everything she had on doctors who couldn't help her. 12 years of being untouchable, unclean, unseen. Then one day it ended. Not gradually, not slowly. One touch, one moment, 12 years of suffering over. That's what tomorrow looks like for you. Think about Israel in Egypt. 400 years of slavery. 400 years of crying out, praying, hoping. Then Moses shows up and says, by this time tomorrow, you're walking out. And they did. Pharaoh didn't want to let them go. But God didn't ask permission. Whatever has been holding you hostage, shame, fear, regret, stagnation, it doesn't get a vote anymore. God has already signed the eviction notice. Imagine a hospital monitor, that steady beep, then suddenly flatline. But it's not your life flatlining. It's the curse. It's the cycle. It's the spirit of heaviness that's been sitting on your chest since your spouse passed, since your children stopped calling, since you started believing your best days were behind you. That thing? Flatlining tomorrow. God is evicting the old season like a landlord kicking out a tenant who's overstayed. And He's not being polite about it. He's not negotiating. He's saying, get out. Your lease is up. This soul belongs to me. Now here's where it gets even deeper. In a few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what you did. Something you might not even remember doing that gave heaven legal permission to end this thing. Because it wasn't random. It wasn't luck. You did something in secret, and God saw it. Some of you prayed a prayer so broken, so desperate, that it shook the throne room. Some of you forgave someone who didn't deserve it, and that act of obedience opened a door in the spirit you can't even see yet. Some of you chose to keep going when quitting would have been easier, and heaven marked that moment. You think you've just been surviving, but God says you've been qualifying. If deep down you're tired, bone tired of repeating the same emotional pain year after year, then stay with me. Do not click away. Do not scroll. This word is time-stamped for you, because God is not coming to take you out. He's coming to take it out. The question is, are you ready to let it go? Now listen closely, because what I'm about to show you will change the way you see your entire life. You think tomorrow's shift is random. You think it's just mercy, just grace falling out of the sky because God felt like it. No, sweetheart. This is earned, not by works but by obedience nobody saw, by sacrifices nobody applauded, by choices you made in the dark when quitting would have been easier. Heaven keeps a file on you, and it's thick. Every tear you cried over a child who won't call you back recorded. Every night you sat alone in that chair, praying for a family that forgot your birthday written down. That offering you gave when your account was almost empty, trusting God to cover the rent sealed in eternity. That moment at 2 a.m., when you stood at the edge of giving up, and you whispered through broken sobs, Lord, help me. Just one more day, angels stood at attention. You think nobody noticed? Heaven has been taking notes for decades. Malachi 3:16 says, a scroll of remembrance was written in His presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored His name. That's not poetry. That's a legal document. Your name is in that scroll. And tomorrow, God cashes it in on your behalf. Let me tell you about someone. I won't say her name, but I'll call her Dorothy. 82 years old, arthritic knees, husband gone 15 years, kids moved to California, barely visit. Every Sunday, Dorothy dragged herself to that little church on the corner. She'd arrive early, unlock the doors, set up the coffee, fold the bulletins with shaking hands. Nobody thanked her. Half the congregation didn't even know her name. But heaven knew. One Tuesday morning, Dorothy sat at her kitchen table with a shut-off notice from the electric company. She had $23 in her checking account. And you know what she did? She wrote a check for $20 to the missions fund. $20. All she had left. She whispered, "Lord, I trust you." 3 days later, a letter arrived. An old insurance policy her late husband had taken out 40 years ago, unclaimed, forgotten. $68,000. Dorothy wept, not because of the money, but because God saw her. In her kitchen, in her obedience, in her foolish, radical faith. That's the file heaven keeps. And right now, your file is being opened. Not for judgment, for release. God is saying, enough. They've sown long enough in tears. It's time for the harvest. Psalm 126:5 promises, "Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy." You've been sowing for years, decades, and tomorrow the reaping begins. But here's what breaks my heart. You think you're on the back row of life. You think your best days are over. You look in the mirror and see wrinkles, gray hair, a body that doesn't move like it used to, and you whisper, "I'm just waiting to die now." Stop it. Heaven sees you on the front row of this moment, not the back, the front, because what's about to happen requires someone who's been tested, someone who's been broken and rebuilt, someone who knows how to trust God when nothing makes sense. God didn't choose the young for this. He chose you, at this age, in this season, because your faith has been refined by fire, and what's left is pure gold. You think He forgot about you? He's been preparing you. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was alignment. Every delay wasn't denial, it was development. Every tear wasn't wasted, it was currency in heaven's economy. And now, the accounts are being balanced. Think of it like this. You've been making deposits into a heavenly bank account for years. Small deposits. A prayer here, a sacrifice there, a moment of obedience nobody saw. And all this time, it's been collecting interest. Compound interest. Generational interest. Tomorrow, the withdrawal begins. Not because you begged, not because you performed, but because the maturity date has arrived. God said, "The appointed time is here. Release what they've sown." In just a few minutes, I'm going to name 3 specific kinds of decisions, 3 hidden obediences that triggered this ending order over your life. And when I do, many of you are going to sit up straight and whisper, "I did that. I did that exact thing, and I didn't even know God was watching." But right now, I need you to do something. If you've ever done the right thing and felt like nobody noticed, if you've ever sacrificed in silence, loved without recognition, prayed without answers, type in the comments, "God saw me." Say it out loud where you're sitting, in your living room, in your kitchen, in that hospital bed, wherever you are. God saw me, because He did. Every second, every sacrifice, every silent scream into your pillow, every moment you chose faith over fear. He saw it all. And this is not happening to you, chosen one. This is happening because of you, because of what you chose when others quit, because of what you endured when others walked away, because of what you refused to bow to when hell itself demanded your surrender. You didn't just survive, you qualified. And tomorrow, the reward for your obedience collides with the present moment in a way you never imagined possible. So don't you dare look away now, because we're about to unlock exactly what God recorded and why it's all coming to an end tomorrow. Chosen one, let me tell you something that's going to shake you to your core. Right now, in the throne room of heaven, God is standing over your file, and he just said 3 words that are about to change everything. This cycle ends today. Not next month. Not when you finally figure it out. Not when you feel worthy enough. Today. And here's what most people don't understand: when God declares an ending, he's not asking for your permission. He's issuing a divine eviction notice to everything that has been squatting in your life without a lease. Let me get specific. Let me call out the cycle that's had you trapped. For some of you, it's the cycle of always being last. Last one chosen, last one called, last one invited. You show up to family gatherings and feel invisible. Your phone doesn't ring unless someone needs something. You've spent decades pouring into people who forgot your birthday but remember your bank account. You know that ache, don't you? That feeling of being everybody's resource but nobody's priority. For others, it's the cycle of guilt. Every single time you try to do something for yourself, take a nap, buy something nice, say no to one, request, a voice slithers into your mind whispering, selfish, lazy, after all they've done for you? So you shrink back, you override your own needs, you apologize for existing, and the cycle keeps spinning. And then there's this one. This is the cruelest cycle of all. Every time you start to feel joy, something hits you. You laugh for the first time in weeks, and the phone rings with bad news. You finally sleep peacefully, and you wake up to chaos. You dare to hope again, and a memory from 30 years ago comes crashing through your chest like a freight train. It's like there's a tripwire in your soul, and joy is the trigger. You've been on a merry-go-round, sweetheart, spinning, 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 same view, same soundtrack, same painted horses going nowhere. You're dizzy, you're exhausted, and deep down, you've started to believe this is just how life is now. That's the lie. Let me show you something in Scripture that'll blow your mind. Right before the Israelites walked out of Egypt, right before their exodus into freedom, what happened? The pressure increased. Pharaoh got meaner, the workload got heavier, the accusations got louder. Exodus 5-9 says Pharaoh ordered, "Make the work harder for the people so they keep working and pay no attention to lies." You hear that? The enemy always turns up the heat right before your release, because he knows if he can exhaust you in the final hour, you'll quit 3 feet from freedom. That's why this last year has felt unbearable. That's why the attacks intensified. That's why loneliness got sharper, why your body hurt more, why your mind wouldn't quiet down. It wasn't punishment, it was pressure before the exodus. And here's the prophetic word you need to grab hold of. Heaven has issued a stop order on your cycle. The merry-go-round is shutting down. The broken record playing accusations in your mind. The needle just lifted. The contract the enemy had with your thoughts, your emotions, your identity, it's expiring. God looked at the calendar, looked at what you've endured, looked at the tears you've cried when no one was watching, and he said, "Enough. I'm ending this today. Now listen carefully." This is a courtroom moment, not a motivational moment, not a think positive moment. This is verdict being read over the powers that have tormented you. In Zechariah 3, Joshua the high priest stood before God covered in filthy rags, while Satan stood there accusing him. And what did God do? Zechariah 3:2 says, "The Lord said to Satan, 'The Lord rebuke you, Satan.' Then God commanded the angels, 'Take off his filthy clothes.' And he said to Joshua, 'See, I have taken away your sin, and I will put fine garments on you.'" That's what's happening right now. The accuser has been rebuked. The filthy garments of shame, rejection, guilt, they're being removed. And God is clothing you with something the enemy can't touch. The garment of favor, of rest, of divine vindication. You didn't survive all those battles just to stay stuck. You didn't endure all those lonely nights just to keep spinning. God preserved you for this moment, for the ending, for the new chapter, for the shift that makes people ask, "What happened to you?" So before we go any further, I need you to do something. If this word is already exposing your cycle, if you feel something breaking loose in your spirit right now, hit that like button. Not for me. For the next chosen one, scrolling at 2 a.m., who's dizzy from their own merry-go-round. You might be the reason someone else gets free tonight. Because here's what's about to happen in the next few minutes. Some of you are going to literally feel a weight lift. You're going to take a breath that goes deeper than it has in years. Because when God ends a cycle, He doesn't do it quietly. The merry-go-round is about to stop. And what happens when something that's been spinning for decades suddenly stops? You stumble. You feel disoriented. But then you realize you can finally step off. So here's my question for you, chosen one. Are you ready to step off? Are you ready to walk away from the cycle that's defined you? Because God's not waiting for you to feel ready. He's already declared it done. The only question left is whether you'll believe Him. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is the reason heaven has circled tomorrow on your calendar. You've been wondering why now? Why you? Why at this age, after all these years of waiting, praying, crying in the dark? Let me tell you something that's going to shake you. It wasn't random. God has been watching 3 specific decisions you made. Decisions you thought didn't matter. Decisions you made quietly, in private, when no one was looking and no one applauded. But in the courtroom of heaven, those decisions became legal triggers that gave God permission to move on your behalf. 3 keys, 3 locks, 3 moments that unlocked tomorrow. The first decision, you chose surrender over control. There was a moment, maybe it was last year, maybe it was 10 years ago, when you finally stopped. You stopped trying to fix your children. You stopped trying to control your spouse. You stopped carrying the weight of everyone else's mistakes on your back like you were some kind of savior. And in that moment of exhaustion, you whispered something that changed everything. "Lord, I can't carry this anymore." You meant it. You weren't playing church. You weren't performing. You were broken, empty, done. And heaven heard that. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." That word crushed, in the original Hebrew, it means completely shattered, not bent, not bruised, shattered. That's where you were. And that's where God met you. Because here's what you didn't know: your surrender wasn't weakness, it was authority. The moment you let go of control, you gave God legal access to step in. You stopped blocking Him with your own efforts. You stopped trying to be God. And when you stepped aside, He stepped in. That decision, that was the first key turning in the lock. The second decision, you chose forgiveness over bitterness. Now this one hurt. This one cost you something. You forgave someone who didn't deserve it. Maybe it was your child who abandoned you. Maybe it was the spouse who walked out. Maybe it was the friend who betrayed you. Maybe it was the church that wounded you so deeply you thought you'd never trust again. And you didn't feel like forgiving. You didn't wake up one morning with warm feelings and rainbows. You still felt the ache. You still remembered every word they said, every way they hurt you. But you made a choice. You opened your mouth and you said, "God, I release them." You spoke it even when your heart wasn't ready. You declared it even when the pain was still fresh. You chose obedience over emotion. And that decision? That was spiritual warfare at its highest level. Ephesians 4:27 warns, "Do not give the devil a foothold." Bitterness is a foothold. Unforgiveness is a legal opening that allows the enemy to torment you for years. It's like leaving the front door of your soul wide open and wondering why darkness keeps walking in. But when you forgave, when you released them, you evicted the enemy. You shut the door. You took back authority over your own spirit. That's the second key. The second lock clicked open. The third decision. You chose faith over finality. This is the one that broke heaven's heart and moved God's hand at the same time. You got the bad diagnosis. The doctor looked at you with that face, the one that says, "I'm sorry, there's not much we can do." You watched your savings disappear. You sat alone in that apartment, night after night, with nothing but the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of sirens outside your window. And the enemy whispered, "This is it. This is how your story ends." Alone. Forgotten. Too late for miracles. But you did something that stunned hell and moved heaven. You kept praying. You didn't shout. You didn't perform. Some nights, all you could manage was, "Jesus, I'm still here." Some mornings, all you had strength for was, "Lord, I still believe." That's faith. Not the loud, flashy kind, the gritty, stubborn, relentless kind, the kind that says, "Even if he doesn't move today, I'm not giving up on him." Hebrews 11:1 defines it. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. You couldn't see the breakthrough, you couldn't feel the shift, but you refused to let go. And God saw that. Every whispered prayer, every tear-stained pillowcase, every time you chose to believe when logic screamed it was over. That was the third key, the final lock. Now here's what you need to understand, chosen one. These were not small moments. These were not coincidences. These were legal triggers in the spirit that allowed God to say, "Because of what you've done, this season ends." Each decision was like signing a release form. You released control so God could take over. You released bitterness so God could heal you. You released doubt so God could move. And tomorrow you're going to see the evidence. Heaven did not move randomly. Heaven moved in response to your yes. Which of these three decisions was your turning point? Was it surrender? Was it forgiveness? Was it faith? Put 1, 2, or 3 inches the comments right now. Don't overthink it. Just respond from your spirit. Because in the next few moments, I'm going to show you exactly what tomorrow looks like, how to recognize when the ending has begun, and what you need to do when the shift starts happening in your life. But you need to stay with me, because what's coming next is going to change the way you see the rest of your life. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people miss it. When I say, it all comes to an end tomorrow, I'm not talking about some random Tuesday morning where you wake up and everything magically feels different. I'm talking about something far deeper, something the Bible calls a kairos moment, a divinely marked turning point where heaven draws a line in the sand and says, "Enough. This season is finished." Ecclesiastes 3:1 says it plainly. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. That word time in the original language, it doesn't mean clock time. It means appointed time, destiny time, the moment when what God decreed in secret suddenly breaks into the open. And chosen one, your appointed time isn't next year. It's not someday when you finally feel ready. It's tomorrow. Whether that's literal or symbolic, doesn't matter. What matters is this. The decree has already been signed. The gavel has already fallen. Heaven has already circled the date. So let me ask you something. Have you noticed anything strange lately? Maybe a peace you can't explain in an area that used to tear you apart every single night. Maybe an old triggers someone's name, a memory, a fear that suddenly doesn't have the same grip anymore. You used to spiral when you thought about it. Now, you feel nothing. Or maybe something better than nothing. You feel free. Or maybe it's something external, an unexpected phone call, an apology you stopped waiting for, a door you didn't even knock on, suddenly swinging wide open, or the opposite, a relationship, a habit, a situation that you've tolerated for years, and now there's this quiet, unshakable conviction rising in you that says, "I'm done." That's not you getting tired, sweetheart. That's heaven ending it for you. See, here's what people don't understand about God's endings. They think it's going to be loud, dramatic, like a lightning bolt splitting the sky. But most of the time, it's quiet. It's subtle. It's like sunrise. Think about it. The night doesn't disappear all at once. Darkness doesn't vanish in a flash. But once that sun crosses a certain point on the horizon, it doesn't matter how much darkness is left, morning has officially begun. The night is over. Done. Finished. And chosen one, you are crossing that line right now. For some of you, tomorrow is literal. You're going to wake up, and something will feel different. A weight will be gone. A fog will lift. You'll look around your living room, the same furniture, the same pictures on the wall, but the atmosphere will have shifted. You won't be able to explain it. You'll just know. Something ended while you were sleeping. For others, tomorrow is the beginning of a season, a turning point, the moment the train switches tracks. And here's the thing about train tracks. Once that switch flips, the train isn't going back in the old direction. It can't. The path has changed, the destination has changed, and no amount of looking back will reverse it. Revelation 21:5 says, "Behold, I make all things new." Not some things, not eventually, all things. And when God says new, He means it. The old patterns, gone. The old cycles, broken. The old accusations the enemy whispered in your ear at 2 a.m., silenced. But here's where I need you to wake up and pay attention, because this is critical. You can stand at the edge of your tomorrow and still choose to live in yesterday. You can feel the peace and reject it, because it feels unfamiliar. You can see the open door and walk away, because you've gotten so used to being locked out. You can hear God say, "It's finished," and keep rehearsing the pain like it's a full-time job. Don't do that. Don't be like the Israelites who got so comfortable complaining in the wilderness that when the promised land finally opened up, they were too scared to walk in. Don't let fear of the new keep you chained to what God has already ended. I'm telling you right now, your tomorrow has been waiting for you longer than you've been waiting for it. Heaven didn't just decide this last week. This ending, this shift, this breakthrough. It was written into your story before you were born. Jeremiah 29:11. Hope and a future, not regret and a past, not shame and a graveyard. Hope, future, tomorrow. So here's what I need you to do. Right now. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Type in the comments, "My tomorrow starts now." Say it out loud if you're alone in your house. Whisper it if someone's in the next room. I don't care if you don't feel it yet. I don't care if doubt is screaming in your head. Speak it anyway, because faith doesn't wait for feelings. Faith commands them. And when you speak that declaration, something shifts in the spirit. Angels move. Demons tremble. Heaven leans forward and says, "Finally, they're ready." You're not just waiting for tomorrow anymore, chosen one. Tomorrow has been waiting for you, and it's time to step across that line. Chosen one, before we go any further, I need to tell you something that might save your breakthrough. If you've been feeling unusual pressure in the last 24 hours, if something suddenly went wrong, if an old argument flared up out of nowhere, if anxiety hit you like a freight train at 2 a.m., don't you dare think this word was a lie. Listen to me carefully. Anytime something is about to end in the spirit, the enemy throws a tantrum. He doesn't attack what's already dead. He doesn't waste energy on people who've already quit. But when heaven circles a date on your calendar, when God signs the final paperwork to close a chapter over your life. Hell notices, and the closer you get to that ending, the louder the noise becomes. Maybe it's a phone call that reopened an old wound. Maybe it's a family member who suddenly can't stand you for no reason. Maybe it's a temptation you thought you buried 20 years ago, crawling back up like it never left. Or maybe it's just this heavy, nameless dread sitting on your chest, whispering, "See? Nothing's changed. You're still stuck." Sweetheart, let me tell you what that really is. That's the sound of your prison shaking. That rattling, that chaos, that sudden storm. It's not proof God lied to you. It's proof the enemy knows his time is up. He's throwing everything he's got at you, because tomorrow the door he's been using to torment you slams shut forever. You see this pattern all through Scripture. Look at Moses. God told Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And what did Pharaoh do? He hardened his heart. He doubled the workload. He made the slaves gather their own straw. Right before the Exodus, the pressure got worse. But that pressure wasn't proof they were staying in Egypt. It was proof they were about to walk out free. Look at Jesus. Right before the resurrection, darkness covered the entire land. The earth shook. The veil tore. It looked like the end of everything. But that darkness wasn't defeat. It was the birth pang of the greatest victory in human history. Chosen one, the storm you're in right now, it's not random, it's strategic. It's the last gasp of a defeated enemy who knows the contract over your suffering expires at midnight, and he's doing everything in his power to make you think nothing's changed, to make you doubt the word, to make you reopen a door God is trying to seal shut. Don't fall for it. Let me explain how this works, because the enemy is a con artist, and he's been running the same con on God's people for centuries. He waits until you're at the edge of breakthrough. He waits until heaven has already released the answer, and then he floods you with noise, confusion, chaos, old memories, bad dreams, sudden sickness, financial pressure, family drama. Why? Because if he can get you to react in fear, if he can get you to speak doubt, if he can get you to reopen that door through anger or bitterness or sin, he can delay what God already signed off on. The attack is not proof you're losing. The attack is proof you're winning. Think about it. If you were still bound, still broken, still stuck in that cycle, he wouldn't need to attack you. You'd already be doing his job for him. But when you're standing at the edge of freedom, when God has already declared, by this time tomorrow, it ends, that's when hell panics. So, let me give you some New York street smart spiritual advice. When that last-minute chaos hits, when the anxiety spikes, when the old voice comes back whispering lies, don't engage. Don't argue with it. Don't try to figure it out. Don't let it pull you into fear. Just look at it and say, "You're too late. The verdict's already been signed. This ends tomorrow." Because here's the truth the enemy doesn't want you to know. He can make noise, but he can't change the decree. He can rattle the door, but he can't unlock it. He can stir up a storm, but he can't stop the dawn. The countdown has already started, and nothing can reverse what heaven has already set in motion. I've seen this happen too many times to count. People on the edge of their miracle, and then suddenly, car breaks down, phone bill triples, grandson gets arrested, old addiction whispers their name, and they think, "See, God didn't come through." No, sweetheart, God is coming through. That's why the enemy is throwing everything at you. He knows tomorrow you walk free, and he's trying to steal your breakthrough in the last hour. Don't let him. The noise you're hearing is not your destiny collapsing. It's the sound of chains breaking. The pressure you're feeling is not abandonment. It's the enemy's last stand. And if you've been experiencing unusual backlash, unusual attacks, unusual heaviness in the last 24 hours, don't be ashamed. Don't think you did something wrong. Type in the comments right now, "I've felt the pushback." because in the next part of this message, I'm going to show you exactly what to do when that final attack comes. I'm going to give you the words to speak, the authority to stand in, and the strategy to make sure you don't accidentally reopen a door God is shutting for good. The storm is loud, but the dawn is coming, and by this time tomorrow, you'll understand why the enemy fought so hard to keep you from this moment. Stay with me. We're not done yet. Now listen to me carefully, chosen one. This next part could be the difference between breakthrough and breakdown, between freedom and going right back into bondage. Because here's the hard truth nobody wants to say out loud. God can close a door tomorrow, and you can pry it back open by next week. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. I've watched people stand at the edge of their miracle, feel the chains break, sense the weight lift, and then walk straight back into the prison because it felt familiar, because loneliness whispered, because old habits knocked, because they couldn't sit still in the silence of their own freedom. So let me be blunt with you, sweetheart. What you do in the next 24 hours will either seal your deliverance or sabotage it. God is ending something tomorrow, but if you're not careful, you'll resurrect it with your own 2 hands. Let me tell you exactly how people reopen what heaven just closed. First, they go back to check on what God told them to leave. You know what I'm talking about. That toxic relationship you finally walked away from. That friendship that only calls when they need something. That family member who's been draining your peace for 30 years. Tomorrow, when the weight lifts, when you feel lighter than you have in decades, the enemy is going to send a text, a phone call, an invitation, and it's going to sound innocent. Just wanted to see how you are. Don't you dare pick up that phone. Lot's wife made it out of Sodom. She was steps away from salvation, but she looked back. Genesis 19:26 says she became a pillar of salt. She didn't go back physically, she just looked. That's all it took. One glance of nostalgia, one moment of second-guessing God's instruction. You cannot afford to look back. Not tomorrow, not next week, not ever. Second, they start replaying the offense. You forgave them. God saw it. Heaven celebrated it. The chain snapped. But then, alone in your living room tomorrow night, you're going to remember what they said, what they did, how they made you feel. And if you're not vigilant, you're going to nurse that wound all over again. Listen to me. Bitterness is a slow poison. It doesn't kill you in one gulp. It drips. Ephesians 4:31 says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger be put away from you, not managed, not controlled. Put away, like trash, like something that doesn't belong in your house anymore." If you keep replaying the hurt, you're reopening the wound God just stitched closed, and infection will set in faster than you think. Third, they curse themselves with their own words. This one breaks my heart because I hear it all the time. People who've been delivered, who've seen God move, who stand on the edge of their tomorrow, and then they open their mouth and say, "Well, nothing ever changes for me anyway." Proverbs 18:21 is not a suggestion, it's a warning. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You are speaking your future into existence right now. Every time you say, "I'm too old, it's too late, I always end up back here," you are building the very prison God is trying to demolish. Guard your mouth like your life depends on it, because it does. For the next 24 hours and honestly, for the rest of your life, I need you to stop speaking death. Stop agreeing with the enemy's narrative. Stop rehearsing the past like it's a prophecy. So what do you do instead? How do you keep the door closed? You guard your words. Every sentence matters. Stop saying what you feel and start declaring what God said. Say it out loud. I will not reopen what God is closing. Say it when the phone rings. Say it when the memory comes. Say it when doubt whispers. You refuse the invitation. That drama? You're not attending. That argument? you're not participating. That reunion with toxicity, you're not RSVPing. God didn't close that chapter so you could write a sequel. You sit with God in gratitude. Tomorrow, when it's quiet, when the noise stops, when you actually feel peace for the first time in years, don't panic. Don't fill the silence with distraction. Sit in it. Thank Him for it. Let your soul remember what rest feels like. Think of it like this. You just had surgery. God cut out something that was killing you. Now the wound is fresh. It's stitched. It's healing. But if you keep picking at it, if you keep touching it, if you keep testing to see if it still hurts, it will never heal. You'll reopen the incision. Infection will spread. And you'll be right back where you started. God just locked a gate behind you. A gate to a season of torment, shame, delay, and oppression. He didn't just close it, He locked it. But you have a choice. You can walk forward into your tomorrow, or you can climb back over that gate because you forgot how to live without the familiar weight. Here's the truth that should make you tremble. It would be a tragedy for God to end something tomorrow and for you to resurrect it next week with your own choices. So I'm asking you right now, are you ready to leave it dead? Are you ready to let go? Or are you going to be like the Israelites, freed from Egypt, standing at the edge of the promised land, saying, you know what, maybe slavery wasn't so bad. If this word is cutting deep, if you feel it in your chest, I need you to do something. Share this message with one person you love. Just one. Send it to them and say, your tomorrow doesn't have to look like yesterday, because in just a moment, we're stepping into something powerful. A declaration, a decree, a moment where you're going to sign your name under what God is doing. And when you speak it, heaven will move. But first, you had to hear this. You had to know how not to sabotage your own miracle. Stay with me. We're not done yet. Chosen one, we've reached the threshold. This is not the time to sit back and watch. This is not the moment to be quiet, because what happens in the next few minutes will determine whether you step into tomorrow carrying the same weight you've carried for decades, or whether you walk through that door free. Heaven is waiting on your voice. Not your perfection, not your resume, not your track record, your voice. Because Proverbs 18:21 says it plainly. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your mouth is not just for eating and breathing. It is a weapon. It is a legal instrument in the courts of heaven. And right now, God is handing you the pen, and He's asking you to sign the decree with your own words. You see, sweetheart, God has already written the verdict. The courtroom in heaven has already ruled in your favor. The gavel has already dropped. But there's one final step, your agreement. Because God will not force freedom on you. He will not shove breakthrough down your throat. He waits for you to open your mouth and say, yes, Lord, I receive what you've already decreed. So right now, I'm going to lead you. And I need you to follow me, not just in your mind, but with your voice. Speak it out loud. Whisper it if you have to, but let your lips move. Because faith without works is dead, and a declaration without sound has no authority. Say this with me. Lord, I agree with your ending over every cycle that has drained me. Say it again, louder this time. I close the door to shame, regret, and self-blame. Now listen, there are names sitting heavy on your heart right now. People who hurt you, people who abandoned you, people who lied about you, used you, betrayed you. I want you to say their name under your breath. Go ahead. Say it quietly. And then say this. I release them into your hands, God. I will not carry them into my tomorrow. Do you feel that? That's the weight starting to lift. That's the chain beginning to snap. Because you just did something most people never do. You let go. Not because they deserved it, not because it was easy, but because your tomorrow depends on it. There are situations too. Financial devastation, health crises, years of loneliness, decades of feeling invisible. Say the situation quietly, name it, and then declare, I receive the end of this long night. I receive the beginning of my tomorrow. Now here's what just happened in the spirit. When you opened your mouth and agreed with God's decree, you didn't just speak words into the air. You signed a legal document. Heaven records every word spoken in faith. Angels are moving right now based on what you just declared. Demons are scrambling because they just lost their jurisdiction over your life. This is what God has been waiting for. Not your perfection, not your strength, your surrender, your willingness to stop fighting for control and start trusting His plan. And here's the mystery. Chosen one, this moment, right here, is because of what you've done. Not what you'll do tomorrow, not what you wish you had done yesterday, but what you've chosen to do right now. You surrendered. You stepped over the threshold with your words, and heaven just moved. Imagine standing at the doorway of a new room. Behind you is the old season, the tears, the trauma, the disappointment, the betrayal. In front of you is the room God has prepared. It's already furnished. The table is already set. The blessing is already in place. But you can't walk into that room carrying the baggage from the old one. So God says, put it down, step over the threshold, enter with empty hands. Chosen one, stop. Put down whatever you're holding. Turn off that television. Silence that phone. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't a sermon. It's not a feel-good message. This is a divine interruption, and by this time tomorrow, something that has been crushing your chest for years ends. I'm talking about that heaviness you wake up with, that feeling like you missed your chance, like your best years got stolen, like God moved on without you while you were just surviving. Listen to me, sweetheart, that ends tomorrow. Not because you finally did something perfect, not because you earned it, but because of what you've already done in the dark. Those tears you cried at 3 a.m. when nobody was watching, that forgiveness you whispered when bitterness would have been easier, that choice to keep praying when your knees hurt and heaven felt silent. Heaven recorded every second. And right now, there's a courtroom in the spirit where the final verdict over your life has already been signed. The gavel has dropped. The countdown clock has started. By this time tomorrow, God is closing a chapter. Not your life, not your story, but the season that's been suffocating you, the cycle of feeling forgotten, the shame, the delay, the voices that whispered, "You're too old now. It's too late for miracles." That lie? Dead by tomorrow. God didn't bring you to this video by accident. He needed you to hear this before the shift happens. Because tomorrow, when that oppression lifts, when that door swings open, when that burden rolls off, you need to know it was Him. So here's what I need you to do right now. Type in the comments, "I receive this ending in Jesus' name." Don't scroll, don't click away. You've been waiting decades for this moment. Heaven has circled tomorrow on your calendar, and before this message ends, you'll understand exactly what God is ending and why He chose you, at this age, in this season, to carry the testimony the world didn't expect. Stay with me. I know what you're thinking right now. You heard those words. It all comes to an end tomorrow, and your heart dropped. You felt it in your stomach, that cold fear crawling up your spine. Lord, are you about to take my health, my mind? Is this the end of my life? Sweetheart, stop. Breathe. Let me tell you something I've learned. Sitting at hospital beds, kitchen tables, and nursing homes for decades, I've held the hands of saints who thought God was coming to take them out, when in reality, He was coming to take it out. God is not ending you. He's ending what has been ending you. There's a difference. And you need to hear this clearly, because the enemy wants you confused right now. He wants you terrified. He wants you to think this message is about death, about loss, about something being ripped away from you. But that's a lie. God is saying, I am ending what has been suffocating you for years. I am shutting down the cycle that has been draining your joy, stealing your peace, and convincing you that you're finished. Let me be specific. Let me name what God is ending tomorrow. The end of condemnation. That shame you've carried since the divorce. The guilt from the abortion you never speak about. The weight of the addiction you fought in secret. The broken relationship with your children that haunts you every single day. You wake up and it's the first thing you feel. Before your feet hit the floor, condemnation is already sitting on your chest whispering, you failed. You're disqualified. God can't use someone like you. That voice, dead by tomorrow. Romans 8:1 doesn't stutter. There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Not some condemnation, not condemnation with exceptions. None. But you've been living like that verse doesn't apply to you. Like somehow your mistake was too big, too ugly, too permanent. God is ending that lie. The end of chronic self-blame. If I had been a better parent, if I had been a better spouse, if I had just prayed more, loved better, tried harder. You've been replaying the same scenes for years, torturing yourself with the past, punishing yourself for decisions you can't undo. And heaven is saying, enough. You cannot undo yesterday, but God can redeem it, and He's about to prove it. The end of spiritual stagnation. You go to church, you sit in the same pew, you sing the same songs, you pray the same prayers, but you feel nothing. You're going through the motions, but your heart is numb. You whisper prayers into the ceiling and wonder if God even hears you anymore. You've been stuck, frozen, spiritually flatlined, and God is ending that too. Think about the woman with the issue of blood. 12 years she bled. 12 years she spent everything she had on doctors who couldn't help her. 12 years of being untouchable, unclean, unseen. Then one day it ended. Not gradually, not slowly. One touch, one moment, 12 years of suffering over. That's what tomorrow looks like for you. Think about Israel in Egypt. 400 years of slavery. 400 years of crying out, praying, hoping. Then Moses shows up and says, by this time tomorrow, you're walking out. And they did. Pharaoh didn't want to let them go. But God didn't ask permission. Whatever has been holding you hostage, shame, fear, regret, stagnation, it doesn't get a vote anymore. God has already signed the eviction notice. Imagine a hospital monitor, that steady beep, then suddenly flatline. But it's not your life flatlining. It's the curse. It's the cycle. It's the spirit of heaviness that's been sitting on your chest since your spouse passed, since your children stopped calling, since you started believing your best days were behind you. That thing? Flatlining tomorrow. God is evicting the old season like a landlord kicking out a tenant who's overstayed. And He's not being polite about it. He's not negotiating. He's saying, get out. Your lease is up. This soul belongs to me. Now here's where it gets even deeper. In a few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what you did. Something you might not even remember doing that gave heaven legal permission to end this thing. Because it wasn't random. It wasn't luck. You did something in secret, and God saw it. Some of you prayed a prayer so broken, so desperate, that it shook the throne room. Some of you forgave someone who didn't deserve it, and that act of obedience opened a door in the spirit you can't even see yet. Some of you chose to keep going when quitting would have been easier, and heaven marked that moment. You think you've just been surviving, but God says you've been qualifying. If deep down you're tired, bone tired of repeating the same emotional pain year after year, Then stay with me. Do not click away.